And this morning we're joined by Dennis Miracles Aboagye. He leads the communications team for Dr. Bawumia. And you recall that earlier this year, he had a sit down with us here on the show, and he was more or less analyzing the performance of the current government. But he tells me that it's 50 days to the election, and that much anticipated 2026 January ending election. Who gets to lead the NPP? Let's do a bit of analysis. Let's get to understand his assessments of the current government first of all, and let's see whether all of the polls that you have been seeing really matters at all, and how is the 50 days coming up for them. One day, Miracles, we'll sit down and you tell me the story behind the name Miracles. A whole 1 hour. We will, right? Have you been?
I've been good.
Is yesterday the same as today?
Yes, I mean, once we have life. I think ultimately we count life, more than all others. Once we count life.
The last time you came, you were here, yes, and I was there. Today you're on the other side. Yes. Let's talk about the NDC. I'd like to hear from you. I know that you've been quite big on them on Galamsey. You've been quite big on them as well on the proceeds, especially gold board and all of that. But it's been 12 months already. Nearly, 12 months. Let's talk about it.
It's nothing personal. I think that even in opposition, we have an onerous responsibility to the people to work together with the government and get them do exactly what it is that they promise the people. So I always tell people that I'm a pure Democrat. I'm of the view that we should put all our disagreements into conversations, and it should end there. And that we should allow everybody to speak up and say exactly how they feel within the remit of the law, without anybody feeling intimidated or anybody feeling harassed. And that's why I am in support of the plural voices that we have in our country, and we continue to call on every stakeholder to encourage that. You see, when you vote for a government, the government now has the responsibility to make life better for the people. Because we know that human needs are insatiable, the only way we can measure as to whether the government is making life better for the people or not is to simply measure the government against its own words. Because it's unfair for me to say that, MFA, I will buy you a 16-inch bone straight. Then I come and buy you a 2-inch bone straight. And I am telling you to clap for me. It is also unfair that after buying you the 16-inch bone straight, you come and tell me I've done nothing because you expect a 24-inch bone straight. You see what I mean? So the easiest way to measure the performance of a government is against its own words.
Though it's easy, is that a fair and most feasible?
That's the most fairest way.
Especially because those are campaign promises, and I like to think that you're saying. So campaign promises in the heat of campaign. Of course, you're not in government, you're not in power, you're in opposition. And so you're drafting your campaign. This is a promise you're hoping to do. If we measure government by that word for word, will we make progress?
Yes, that's the fairest. Otherwise, we'll be unfair to the government by trying to measure him against things that he himself didn't say he would do. Remember, you would only say what you would do based on your self-introspection, knowing what your capacity and capabilities are. And so for me, I think it's the fairest. I disagree with anybody that would want to measure the government on things he didn't say. Don't come and accuse the government for something he didn't promise the people. Remember, the voters are rational beings. They take the voting decisions based on what it is that you told them and what it is that the other person. So they did a comparative analysis before they made a choice. Every candidate says things that the people want to hear and the people are interested in. But ultimately, a vote is a comparative decision. It is not to say that the other person I didn't vote for has nothing good at all. But it is to say that I believe yours is superior to what the other person says.
Right.
So I cannot vote for you, and then when you come to office, I try to measure you against what the other person said he would do. When you didn't say that.
Done anything so far that
I think that what we should be asking the NDC is for them to tell us how in the last 12 years they have introduced policies, programs that positively impact our lives. I think they've done very minimum when it comes to that side. I think they haven't done much. I think that looking at the energy they've expended so far, they could have done better. I feel that the NDC needs to step back and relook at their strategy again. Because I see a government that is very distracted, a government that has lost focus from what exactly it is that they promise the people, and is dabbling in a lot of many things that they think they need applause for, but do not directly impact the lives of the people positively. So this is the point I've been making. You have been very focused on, the government has been focused on, I have ransacked this person's house, I have arrested this person in traffic, I have done this, I have done that, I'm removing the Supreme Court judge, I am removing the Chief Justice, I have appointed 70 judges to balance the bench, we are resetting this, those are all important things. They are important things. But you see, there are certain things we call priorities. I may have 20 needs, but those 20 needs are not of equal importance.
House cleaning wouldn't matter?
So when you put the 20 needs on a table, even though they are all needs, and you organize them in hierarchy, in order of merit, you'd realize that some are more important than the others.
House cleaning.
If you use 12 months cleaning the house, and you keep 150,000 unemployed graduates at home, whom you promised that when you come, you give them automatic placement, it doesn't matter. Wouldn't
be a cascading effect of previous government?
Yeah, but the house cleaning is also a cascading effect of previous government. Whatever you've inherited.
In terms of, the house cleaning.
So everything you've inherited is cascading.
The good and the bad. The left and the right.
So exactly. So you have to make a choice. So your choice and your priorities in 12 months should prioritize the needs of the people. The others are also important. But whilst you are doing it, let us see you prioritizing the needs of the people, the ones that directly impact them. So for example, if in 12 months, you told us that the cost of living is very high whilst we're in opposition, and you made specific promises to us that you're going to ease our lives, you're going to reduce the burden on us, and in 12 months, what you are telling us to clap for you for is house cleaning. When I am hungry, listen, a carton of milk, the small ones, that was about between 140 and 170 cedis. It's today selling for 240, 280 cedis.
That's interesting because just recently, before they read the 2026 budget, when the finance minister went to the market, well, he didn't use a carton of milk. I like that you're using carton of milk. But the market women themselves cited bag of rice, oil. These were the people saying, how do I then... I want to be a neutral citizen and try and compare what the market woman, the person selling it to me, and then you who is in opposition because you've been in government and you know how to tweak and work numbers. Who, the person watching me today, who should they believe?
That is why I, Miracles, refuse to fall for mass media propaganda. And I stick to the reality on the ground. I have seen videos of market women, even as of yesterday, complain about high prices of goods, even though government says inflation has come down. So you are playing a video. No, you are playing a video of the finance minister himself. After he has done his video and edited it and playing it to me that I should accept it, and you think that you won't accept mine? The finance minister is not a politician. So it is up to the Ghanaian who is at home to now actually calibrate what his situation was 12 months ago versus what it is now and determine whether his life has improved or not what the finance minister is saying or playing to us. Let me quickly draw your attention to even give you a fair way of analyzing this. If you have a government that comes to office and within 12 months increases electricity tariffs by 28%, you don't need anybody to tell you that my cost of living has gone up. Because if I was buying electricity at 1,000 Ghana cedis, I'm now buying it at 1,280 Ghana cedis.
Is it the government?
Yes.
Especially because PRC is really regulated, it's statutory. If you look at the provision given in the PRCU stats, it says that though the executive can at least manage it, it looks as if PRC has that autonomy to adjust whether upwards or downwards. Of course, I recall during COVID, Nana Dankwa promised some relief. Some people, we paid less for water, but later the economists started telling us that, well, it was calculated for us to pay later. I don't know how a government then should take the fall for that.
Okay, so fair enough.
Let's break it down.
Akufo-Addo took the fall for it, but you think NDC shouldn't take the fall for it. You think for the first time in the history of this country, you are telling me, I mean, that's just you asking questions, so I'm not, but you are telling me that we should accept that when it comes to electricity tariffs, it's not the government. Do you know who appointed the PRC executive director? Do you know who formed the PRC board? is the executive, is the president. Why do they form the board? It is the board's responsibility to look at our utility sector and determine these things. So the president's representatives, the executive secretary, and the board are the ones who, within 12 months, have increased our electricity by 28%. The same PURC was there in 2024. They didn't increase electricity. In 2023, they didn't.
I mean, quarterly, they were.
No, they were.
Is it the margin?
Listen.
Is it the margin?
Listen, forget even just the margin. There were years in this country that PURC did not. In fact, they reduced electricity tariffs. They did. Also,
this year, there were periods that
2024 they reduced.
Water was not.
No assumption. I'm giving you facts. The PURC, they reduced it.
This year, there was a period that water was not increased.
No, it's been increased this year by 15%. We are talking 12-month period. It's been increased 15% as against last year when it was reduced. Now, when you increase electricity tariffs as a government, it will impact the cost of living of the people. Because you see, today, if multimedia is going to put out their rate for advertisement, do you know what they factor in? Your salary, the cost of equipment, the electricity bill, and the water bill would all determine how much the rate card will be for advertisers. If electricity bills go down, Kwesitum and the multimedia team would most likely keep the rate at where it is or send it down. But if you increase it by 28%, it means that they have to spend more to keep you and I in this studio. So they get money from where? The adverts. They have to increase it. That is the reality.
From governance point of view, how else could they keep the lights on?
How else did the previous?
Or just because they?
How else did the previous government keep the lights on in 2024 without increasing the tariffs?
It would be very surprising to me that in 2024.
Go and check. Go and check. But these are verifiable things. Go and check. How else were they? There were even years that they even reduced it. There were years that the Akufo-Addo government reduced it. How else did they do that and at the same time kept our lights on?
If you
so you see,
yeah?
No, let's not digress. What I'm giving you, these are facts. Is it not true that electricity has been increased by 28%?
This year, of course.
Is it not true that the government told that the electricity bills were too high and that Akufo-Addo was ripping up the citizens? Is it not true? So if you come and tell me that vote against Akufo-Addo and the NPP because electricity bills are too high, and I vote for you, and you come, and in 12 months, you increase it by 28%, you are saying I should do what? I should clap for you. That is the NDC scorecard.
When the NDC said that resetting, do you see this sitting in that bigger?
NDC hasn't reset the country. NDC is reversing the country. That is the truth. There's a big difference. The NDC promised the people a reset, but they are delivering a reverse. That is what is happening. Is it not strange to you, MFA, that you are in a country where inflation has dropped from a whooping 23% to 6%, and yet no single price of a goods has increased with less than 10%? Is it not strange to you? Is it not strange to you, MFA, that when you go to Aboagye, you go to Tiptoe Lane that is just behind you here? Every price of every good is going up, and yet these imported goods are done on the basis of dollar, which has reduced from 14 cedis to 11 cedis. Is it not strange to you? So you see, the government is running a contradictory economic policy system that is having no impact in our pocket, but only on paper. That is our reality. And that is what we in the NPP are saying. Forget about NPP. You may dislike us, forget it. But let's call the government to sit up and focus. Because at the moment, the government is looking at other things that are of importance, but are of lower importance to the cost of living and the life of the Ghanaian person than they see it. They are placing premium on things which, according to them, they think is important to us. When 150,000 of young Ghanaians are home. I told you earlier on, I am not saying you don't have backlog of nurses and teachers ever at home. But NPP didn't promise that when we come, they are all going to be employed. You did. You promised them. See, for example, let me give you, do you know what is happening? The government is actually wickedly watching on for a teacher who has just been recruited to work for a year, and they pay him 1 month. 1 month. For us who have seen the NDC in the past, we are not surprised. The only people who are in shock right now are the Gen Zs who had only experienced an Akufo-Addo government and so were measuring us against ourselves, but refused to listen to us when we told them who the NDC were. In 2013, 2013 to 2016, the NDC had a policy they called the 3-month pay policy. Where 13 to 2016, yes, you can just Google 3 months pay policy, you see it. where the NDC were paying teachers and other public sector workers who work for a year, 3 months, because they say they don't have money. How can you not have money to recruit teachers and nurses and yet find money to go and buy a $60 million plane for the president to go and bath in the air and cook fried rice in the air, whilst we have a pristine-looking presidential jet on the tarmac?
You lost me.
Should I rephrase it?
You lost me, but before we even get
should I slow down?
Before we get to the purchase, so in 2024, the second to last quarter, September 28, PRCU indicated that they were adjusting electricity and water tariff for the third quarter in 2024 with a 3.02 hike in electricity and a little over 1 or nearly 2 rise in water effective October 1, because I recall that in 2024
3%.
we were. So what you did this year is you have calculated 3%. The 2025 altogether.
Yes, 3%. Yes, 3%. Okay. Fantastic.
That's for the third quarter.
Yes, though. Fantastic. So you see, 28%. That is
for 2025. I have not calculated all the quarters.
No, it is.
Though.
It is.
I have not calculated all the quarters.
Oh, but initially the first year was 18%. Though.
It was in total.
The first month.
Okay. So what you're doing is
you need to add
comparing your first year in office.
No. Them DC first year, January, when they came to office, their adjustment, go and check.
Okay, but at least for the record, in 2024 there was adjustment.
No, but you see, I'm saying that compare. When the 3% adjustment came, you said it was too high, that the Akufo-Addo government was wicked. So the people voted for you on the basis of that. Then you come and you make it 28. You are increasing my tariff from 100 cedis that Akufo-Addo increased to 103. You said it was wicked. Then you come, you make it 128, and you say I should clap for you, Emefa.
And so, but so in the last 12 months, there's absolutely nothing that the NDC has done that you see that, well, despite you think that they're taking the country back, at least for this and that, you would at least commend them for. I
have already done the commendation here. Were we not here when I commended the government for bringing inflation from 23 downwards? At that time, I think it was even at 10% or so. Were you not here when I commended the government from moving dollar from 14 to 10 cedis?
But it changes when that comes down and that cost of...
The problem is that when you are being applauded for something that is not showing in the pockets of the people will be upset with you. Because I am expecting that if I am receiving a stronger CD that has moved from 14 to 10, it should reflect in my life. But when you go to Aboagye, when you go to Tiptoe Lane, when you go to everywhere they are doing imports, you are not seeing it reflecting. You know why? Because I said it to you here, that the government is running an artificial economic strategy where instead of allowing the real sectors of the economy to drive the strength of the currency, they want to please you. They want to show numbers to the people on the screen. So they what they do now is that they go and buy the Galamsey gold.
So what? Which part of it is fake, really?
No, so let me explain to you. We are educating the people. They go and buy the Galamsey gold. Then they get money.
They say it's not Galamsey gold.
Oh, the president himself admitted, I'm using the president's own. The president said that about 60% of the gold we export comes from the small scale sector. The small scale sector, we have come to know, and we have been told that about 80% are illegal miners. So do the calculation. You understand? So you go and buy the Galamsey gold, you go and sell it. When you go and sell it and get dollar, then you come and put the dollar and give it to the banks.
But if you sell, you get dollar.
Yes. Then when you bring the dollar to Ghana, you give it to the banks. Do you know what happens? The businessmen and the few rich people, when the dollar comes, they go and buy all. Now, because you are artificially managing...
Reduce exchange.
Relax. Because you are artificially... Now, let me explain to you. You go and buy gold in cedis. You go and sell it. You get dollar. So government says, I am putting $1 billion into the economy to balance the forex. So government actually give $1 billion cash to the banks.
Yes.
So that the importer who is going to buy spare parts and ties and whatever to bring to Ghana will get dollar. Because if they don't get a dollar, that's when the dollar goes up. So now dollar is available. But you see, because the importers know that it is artificial, it is the government that wants to bring the money, and that it is not from the real sectors of the economy which is pushing the currency up. When they buy the dollar, and they go and buy the ties and the spare parts and bring it to Ghana, they don't use the 10 cedis which they use to buy the dollar to price their goods. They use 13 cedis because they are afraid that if they go and use 10 cedis, Within 5 weeks, the dollar goes again from 10 to 12.
Okay, let's break it down for a viewer who's watching us this morning. Let's bring it home. If it is fake, per the analysis, it's...
it's not if. The Bank of Ghana has admitted pumping
in fact,
$10 billion.
Now they say...
Yeah, so it's not fake. It's no longer fake. Yes, it's no longer fake.
Here.
It's true.
In the past, what was other governments doing? What were they doing?
You see, the thing is not about in the past. The thing is that if the past...
You're teaching us...
I won't let you do that.
No, why not?
No, relax.
Because you just...
Relax, because the past is what we didn't like.
I agree, but economics is economics.
No.
No,
so let's talk economics. So let's talk economics. What economics says you should do, that's what we should talk about. Not
for base years, it's not comparative.
No. What economics says you should do is this. The strength of your currency will depend on your production. The less import you do, the stronger your currency is. The reason why Ghana, our currency suffers is because we are very import dependent. We import a lot. So every month we are looking for dollars to go and buy things and bring. Anything you are looking for, too many people are looking for, the value goes up. So when the dollar is in scarcity, then the strength will go up, then the cedi strength will go down. So what you do in economics is that you invest in your industries. You invest in your local production so that we don't go and import chewing stick. We don't go and import toothpick. You reduce the amount of things you are importing. When you do that, on monthly basis, the amount of dollars that people are looking for to go and buy things and bring to Ghana will go down. When that goes down, you don't need too much dollar, and so your currency strength will do what? Will go up. Now, instead of the government investing in industries, instead of the government investing in the real sectors of the economy, they are in a hurry to prove to you that, Ekufuado and their government, they didn't do well. That's why dollar was this. So because they are in a hurry, they are picking money to just make the numbers look good. So that you will clap for them. And that is why from January to now, NDC. When you ask them what they've done, call any NDC person right now.
We're in class this morning.
Calm down.
Very calm.
Call any NDC person right now and ask them, what have you done? Do you know what they will say? Inflation has come to 6%. Dollar has come to 10%. How has that reflected in the lives of the people is what economics is interested in. Economics is interested in how that translates into the cost of living for the persons. Now, why is it that you say that the rate of increase in prices has slowed down from 23 to 6%, and yet the rate of increase in prices on the market, cement 42.5 R, Gasem was about 85 Ghana cedis in January. Today, it is between 110 and 120 cedis. And yet, you are telling me that the rate of increase has slowed down to about 6%. When you look at it, you realize that it's gone up to about 30-35%. That is what the economics is interested in. And the reason is simple. The reason is that you have left your real sector of the economy. You are not investing in it. You are artificially manipulating the currency so that it looks good. But the businessman, when he goes to buy, because he's not so sure what will happen to the currency in the next 5 years. Remember, I think between June and August, the dollar came to 10. Then by August ending thereabout, it had moved to about 12.5, 13.
Yeah, because in August is the time people import things ahead.
So the importers, they are not sure where the dollar is. Today is 10, tomorrow is 12, the next is 13, the next is 14. Whenever the government has money, and they feel they want to pump in, they pump in, and it brings it down.
So that's a reasonable range. Usually, the dollar can really never be fixed. It's usually a range. So, I've never seen a dollar. So
again, the assessment of the NDC. If they are doing what really it is usually is, then why did we vote for them? Let me use your own words. Usually it's like that. It's always like that. Why did we vote for them? We voted for this government to make a difference, which they promised us. That is what we voted for them for. If the whole argument is about that is how it's always been, then why did we go and queue to vote for the government after the government told us that when he comes to office, he's going to improve things in our lives? I am simply using the numbers to prove to you that if you come to office and you increase my electricity bill by 28% and you increase my salary only by 9%, you have worsened my life. That is what I am telling you. You see, the electricity tariff for 28% makes nonsense of the dollar you brought down. That is what I am telling you. I am telling you that if you come to office and you have an aircraft, a presidential aircraft, which you said was in pristine condition, that has just been brought back from servicing, standing on the tarmac, and you decide to take $60 million of our money to go and buy one so you can bath and cook fried rice in it, that is wickedness.
I was following.
I am telling you,
bathing and cooking fried rice.
Yes, but that is what.
That's what they do.
Yeah, but if that is not the case, then use the one that you said is in pristine condition. When the Kufuor said that,
the new one has those features.
But why do we need a new one? I didn't know the one who said the Kufuor didn't need a new one, that this one was in pristine condition. The deputy defense minister now, the minister who is going to manage the aircraft, said that this one is in pristine condition. Or Kufuor is less of a human being. It's less of a human being. You have increased salaries of your employees, political employees, some by 56%, some by 60%, some by 70%, and then you increase public sector workers' salary by 9%. That's what they voted for. The $60 million you are going to use to buy the aircraft so you can cook fried rice and bath in it. Why are you not using...
I can corroborate this because TUC kicked against the saying that the tariff really makes no sense.
You can corroborate everything I said. Me, I don't say things that are not true.
Of course,
I never say things. I never say things that are not true. I am a very honest young man. You know me. I'm a Kiapim guy. No, don't allow the people. You know me personally. You know me. You know me personally.
We don't want to go there. They'll know that you're holding my hands to cross.
No, but if you know somebody, I know Jesus Christ is a good man. I have to confess to his goodness.
Miracles.
You know me.
So hopefully, whoever emerges next month, you say 50 days for the NPP to get a flag bearer. Whoever emerges is hoping to do what in 2028, do things better if the NDC also doesn't do things better at the time. Let's look at what differently will make Dr. Bawumia, who was part of the previous government. I mean, of course, vice president. We can't have this conversation. Every time we sit at this desk, it comes up. We can't have the conversation as usual. He was part of major decision making. He was vice president. What difference would that make?
Before I come to that, let me just conclude on this NDC thing. So what I'm appealing on the NDC government to do is that please step back. We voted for you with specific promises. Step back a bit. At the moment, you are reversing us. You are not resetting us. A lot of good things you are destroying, like the drone system that you have shut down, is a problem. When you go to hospitals
So the minister mentioned one of the challenges.
There are always reasons and challenges. That is the point. But keep good things. That's what challenges. Is there anything there's no challenge with? There are always challenges with things. Keep the good thing. Don't destroy it.
I mean, now that you have brought that...
Resetting doesn't mean reversing. Resetting doesn't mean destroying. As for challenges, I mean, if there will be challenges, is there anything NDC is doing that there's no challenge with?
So for the drone system, for example, you'd have thought that they keep it and make it better.
But is there an alternative to a drone in this world? There's none. Building hospitals is not an alternative to drone. Then you are ignorant if you say that. A drone is like an air ambulance that sends medication to the human being instead of carrying the human being. There is no replacement for it.
I totally agree.
Even if you go to the UK and the US, where they have hospitals and everything, they are even now introducing drones.
The minister says it was quite non-functional. What about that?
They have supplied 17 million vaccines to our hospitals. If it's 17 million lives is non-functional, then cancel it.
Okay.
They have provided hundreds of thousands of blood. The report is there. Ghana Health Service don't report. I'll be here. I can share it with you. If it is not relevant, then that is why I keep saying that you are reversing us. The NDC is reversing and not resetting Ghana. Because listen, what we have in the drone system is what other advanced worlds are looking for. If you destroy it, that's not reset. That is taking us to the dark ages.
I mean, one of the tenets of governance is the fact that a country recognizes they have scarce resources. And so when a political party gains power, they want to put the scarce resources to places they believe would work. So, for example, when they see the drone system, it's a good idea, but maybe it's not their priority. Will that amount to their reversing? Because if they use the same system to do something else that you can apply.
That's why I think the NDC is wasting our time and they should leave. But their priorities are completely bogus.
Months?
Yeah. They are wasting our time. You see, they are slowing us down. See, if a government comes to introduce a drone system that first world countries are looking forward to having, and you come, and in 12 months you want to reverse it and destroy it, you are sending us back. Let me tell you something. Do you know how much the drone system is costing? About 110 million, make it even 200 million Ghana cedis. Do you know how much the aeroplane we are going to buy for one person is costing? $60 million. If you think that the use of our scarce resource is better placed buying a $60 million aircraft for the president to bath and cook fried rice in it, when we have one on the tarmac, Note it all. I'm not saying the president shouldn't have a private jet. I am saying that we have one that, according to the president and the defense minister, is in pristine condition. If we have one and you decide to spend $60 million on another one, and you think that spending money on a drone system is a waste of our resource, then you need to get out of office. Do you know what the drone system does? In this country, before the drone system comes, came into force in this country.
Okay, in the health sector, and we originally talked about the drone, it brings home the LIMS conversation. Do you know why? Because LIMS as a system, I know, was started under the NDC regime. And took a center stage during the NPP regime. But we find the NDC saying that it's really not the best that they can have. They would rather have the, I don't know, these games, or well, it's another term that we're all getting used to. How then would you say that for such a system that the NDC actually introduced, and they think that it is not functioning as they envisaged, will mean that they are reversing the country?
You know, the NDC is a very interesting group of persons here. They strategically manipulate everybody, and they think that we all fall for it. That's why I wake up smiling, because I don't fall for their antics. Listen to this. You come to office. There's a system that is digitized our health records. You don't like it for whatever reason. You don't like it simply because it is not giving the function that it is. You don't like it because you said it is expensive. You said the data is not in Ghana. You said all manner of things. Fix it. In fixing it, there are several things you can do. You can call the people and say, you know what, I think the thing that you were giving to the previous government as 1 cedi is too expensive. Can you give it to me as 50 pesos? Either you give it to me as 50 pesos, or I go and look for another one.
Is that better than owning your stuff, your own stuff?
Oh, I want to buy it from you. Would you sell it for me? If you won't sell it to me, then please, I'm going to build a new one. I have absolutely no problem with a new government wanting to renegotiate a contract. Even me, I can sign an ambassadorial contract with you as an ambassador for NPP, face of NPP. Then, in about 11 months, I can come to you, MFI, and say, you know what, the deal that I had with you, that every month, this is the package with the ambassadorial deal, I want to review it downwards. In the same person.
Happens as a reality.
So there's nothing wrong. But this whole funny approach.
Find another MFA.
Hold on. This is what I will do. This is what I will do. This whole funny approach of, because I have found another MFA, so I should insult MFA.
If MFA gives me, but if the second MFA gives me, I don't
have to say that MFA is ugly, she's too slim, she's not nice.
Whatever way you say,
I don't have to do.
Whatever way you say, you're leaving MFA
I don't have to.
And going for
it's not intelligence to do that. Because when you do that, what you have done is that all the services MFA has rendered to you, you are calling it to question. What you do is this. Go and get the new MFA. Sign her. Print all her SAVs and flexes when it's ready. Then midnight, after you have had a conversation with the old MFA that, you know, I'm changing you because I've a new MFA, we wake up and then there's a new MFA on the billboard. But don't let me wake up in the morning, driving by and see the billboard that the old MFA on now empty. Now, do you know what is happening? Our citizens are going to the hospitals and we don't have past records of them to be able to diagnose them properly.
Let's talk about Bawumia.
That is what is happening. Now, you didn't have to give the LIMS a bad name. Today, if you want to replace LIMS for procurement reasons and procurement interest, which I think it is, all you have to do is finish your negotiation with the new provider. Let him finish building the system. Then you terminate it, and the next day this one kick in. But what sense is there in it? That as we speak in this country, we have our citizens being treated blindly because the doctors don't have records that they want to treat them with. And you are now building another one, and you are all over the place talking plenty. That is not resetting. That is reversing.
Former Vice President says that he's not happy about the way the Pandai seat is being treated, the controversies around it.
It's obvious.
Why? It went to court.
We go into an election, you and I. You lose. I win. You take me to court. You go and tell the judge that there are some 41 polling stations that I have issues with. I don't think things went right. I want you to look at it for me. Then the judge sits on the case 12 months. 12 months later, the judge rules that because he has identified issues with some 41 polling stations, all the other 110 or so polling stations should all be nullified and we'll go for another election. 12 months. No problem. But you waited 12 months because that is what our judicial processes are. Is that not the case? The same judicial process says that when you win the case, when the judge rules in your favor, I have a right to go and appeal. Now, the same judicial process says that when I go and appeal, or before I even go and appeal, there is something called stay of execution. That I can go and apply and say that the ruling that the judge has given in your favor should wait. I'm not saying it is wrong, it should be cancelled. But please wait a little bit. I am going to talk to an appeals court judge and give him reasons why I think your ruling is wrong. But in the process, if you go ahead and execute the ruling you have given, and I win the appeals case, then all of us would have been
You have
in
just
trouble.
filed the stay of execution.
Wait. I have filed it.
It hasn't been granted.
It doesn't have to be granted. So long as I've given a notice of a file, it means that it has to be heard before any action can be taken on your ruling. You are a law student.
What then
now,
happens to the jurisdiction of a court that can quash the decision?
I am saying that law and common sense work together. Think about this, and that's what Dr. Mahmoud Bamia is talking about. The judge has given a ruling. We've applied for a stay of execution and an appeal. The government, in connivance with other institutions, are in haste, in connivance with the Speaker of Parliament specifically, are in haste to go and hold a by-election. Now, if eventually, by the time the by-election is done, the appeal processes and the stay of everything has gone through and have won, the state would have spent millions of cedis executing that election.
Is that fair on the Speaker? Because he went through the processes, including what the clerk had to do.
The same processes under our law says that there should be a stay of the action when I apply for a stay of execution. Why do you want to look at the processes in isolation? If you think I should respect the Speaker for going through those processes, why are you not respecting the citizen for going through the stay of execution processes and the appeal processes? Why are you using your control over state institutions to bulldoze over other citizens to go and execute this election? Now, let's use common sense in tangent with the law. Let's assume that they go ahead and hold this by-election. It has come out now that the Ghana Police Service and the other institutions are spending close to 38 million on a by-election. We've done Ablekuma North, we've done Akwetia. That's only for that side. The Electoral Commission is going to spend millions to print ballot papers and everything, pay people and hold the election. Now, Emefa, should the appeal process go through?
Miracles.
And
Democracy is always expensive.
No, wait. I know. But if you use it judiciously, it will not be expensive. Why are you going to execute an election that you know can be nullified? Because somebody has filed for an appeal.
For some reason, my time just comes.
No, but do you know what I am saying? Because the conversation is an interesting one. Somebody has filed an appeal, and you still want to go ahead to go and spend the state resource on an election that, if they appeal, unless the suspicion that some citizens have, I don't have that suspicion.
Yeah.
I believe in our judicial system. But some people suspect that because the president has managed to install a chief justice that some claim is a friend of his, he believes he can control everything judiciary. And for that reason, I know why is it that there is an appeal process, but you are so confident the appeal process will fail? Why? Should we believe the conspiracy theorists who are saying that now you think you control the judiciary?
That's how defendants usually feel.
If you and I don't stand up and deal with this situation, it will come to bite all of us in a very difficult, painful way, and we'll regret it. Our job as opposition will be to continuously bring it up. My appeal to the government is that, please, don't gag us. Allow us to bring it out in the interest of the future of this state.
Yanko Di Bronya, so me you Bronya for 50 days, no matter there's still some few days. We'll come and talk about the tour and some of the things that the Vice President has been up to. All the best with it.